chicken instead of chicken. Now, that's just stupid. Okay. Salute, dear comrades. Old boy is back, but today I won't teach you any Russian swear words. I'm sorry for that. And yeah, I know what you want to say. It's been 5 years and I still haven't issued that another video. But I'm working on it. At the moment I'm writing a script for it. It will be out in no time. In the meanwhile, I wanted to do something just to entertain myself and maybe show something that could be potentially interesting to you. So today I'm gonna be reacting to a video called One Woman, 17 British Accents. Why I chose this one is because for some reason this man over here, though had never been to any English speaking country and was raised and brought up in Russia and got education in a regular Russian school, has a little bit of that regional accent. So let's see. I want to see how much I know about those accents, if I can recognize them or maybe share some information about them to you. So let's get to the video. One Woman, 17 British Accents by Anglophenia.
The UK is incredibly diverse in terms of accents, and it just so happens that I can do many of these accents.
Yeah, as far as I know, more than 100 different accents.
So come with me as I take you on a guided tour through all of the accents and archetypes of Great Britain. Hi, I'm Siobhan Thompson, and this is Anglophenia. And what I'm speaking right now is RP, received pronunciation, or
Guys,
standard
do I speak
BBC
the same
English.
as her?
It's spoken across the country,
RP?
generally by middle, and upper class people. Think of Martin Freeman, Benedict Cumberbatch, or most of the presenters of BBC News. So, good evening.
Yeah,
it's 9 o'clock, and this is the
BBC
news. I'm very important. Heightened RP is generally only spoken on film and television now. So you're going to think of Nell Card or the Dowager Countess.
I never heard
in
this
Downton
term
Abbey.
before.
Oh, Gerald, I do love you, but you're so terribly, terribly poor. Now, London is the accent that most people outside...
Wait, is that it? Is that all the explanation? Terribly, terribly. Well, just you roll the R's. So is that what you wanted to say? It's just like the RP, but you have to roll the R's and maybe stretch the vowels a little bit. So instead of terrible, you say terrible. Is that it? I don't know, I've never heard this term, really.
I Britain can recognise, that classic lock, stock and two smoking barrels. Get out of my pub! Go
Cockney.
on, get out of it! Shut it, you tart! East Anglia is a flat bottom.
What did you just say? Shut it, you tart. No, Cockney accent is... I don't know, I can imitate... Okay, let me try this one. I can imitate the Cockney accent, but I cannot explain to you how is it different from all the rest of the accents. That's the catch. I don't know. That's more. I'm sorry for my Cockney. Must be very horrible, but yeah, that's my shot.
Boggy kind of place with a flat, boggy kind of accent. I love to give you an example of somebody that comes from there that speaks like this, but they all lose this accent as soon as they can. Stephen Fry's from Norfolk, but he doesn't speak like this because he's posh. Here's a kind of classic kind of East Anglia phrase. She
mentioned posh. I think Porsche is like a heightened RP or like an advanced version of RP. So no skipped sounds, no glottal stops, no cheating. It's just straight pure English as in the vocabulary. Just straight pure English like in the vocabulary. Does it sound posh to you?
Done dropped my computer in the fan and it's broken. Now let's go across the island to the West Country, which is a much rounder sound. It's farmland full of sheep and cows and apples. Think of like Sam Ganji from The Lord of the Rings or Hagrid from the Harry Potter movies. Oh, you bloody kids, get off my land! Or, oh, Mr. Frodo, don't let him turn me into anything unnatural. And then when you go down to Cornwall, it gets a little bit more piratey. So, hoist the mizzenmast, Squire Trelawney. Now, Southern Welsh is this great sing-songy kind of an accent. Think of Tom Jones or Richard Burton, Again,
she rolls the R's, but again, Guys, I have no conception of how Welsh is supposed to sound. For me, it always sounded like, I'm sorry to say this, like a silly version of English, like a person is really trying to speak English but just not there yet. I can't even imitate that, and I don't know her references. I don't know who these actors are.
Rage against the dying of the light. Bloody hell, I love Dylan Thomas.
Bloody hell.
Northern Welsh is where the singer Duffy is from. It's a breathier, thicker kind of an accent, and most people from there speak Welsh at home, and English is a second language. So, diolch yn fawr.
Huh?
Now, across the country to the West Midlands and Birmingham, it's a very nasal kind of an accent, mostly on account of all the industry that went on in that area. Cat Daly, who presents So You Think You Can...
So, Birmingham is the Broomy accent, and many people refer to this accent by the famous series, The Peaky Blinders. But Cillian Murphy, as far as I know, is Irish, and most of the actors there, they are not from Birmingham. When I was watching that series, I was always thinking that it doesn't sound anything like Broomy to me. I think the closest representation of the real Broomy accent is actually someone like Ozzy Osbourne and his wife Sharon Osbourne. Yeah. So if you want to hear how the real Broomy accent sounds, just check out Ozzy Osbourne, those old shows from MTV.
And Dance is from there, and so is Ozzy Osbourne, Sharon, where's the bloody remote? Yeah, that voice that he does isn't because of drugs, it's just where he's from. Scouse is your classic Liverpool accent. The Beatles are from there, and so's Paul McGann. They're all...
Again, as far as I know, she's referring to Beatles as the representation of this accent, but all the recordings, all the interviews of the Beatles that I heard are actually different from the Scouse I heard from other YouTube videos. They tend to use this sound like chicken instead of chicken, while neither Paul McCartney nor Ringo nor John Lennon, they never spoke like that. So I don't know if maybe they cleaned out their pronunciation when they became famous, but I don't know.
Also made European Capital of Culture a couple of years ago by the EU, so don't tell me they're not cultured, alright? Up into Lancashire, and think of Christopher Eccleston or most of the cast of the Downstairs and Downton Abbey. Daisy, get those buns out the oven before they burn. Oh, Mr. Bates. So, across the Pennines to Yorkshire, it's a much kind of flatter accent from Lancashire, and they cut off a lot of the words. So I'm going...
Yeah, so as far as I get it, Lancashire, Yorkshire accent, they're very close to Scottish, because it's right at the border of England and Scotland. That's why there are a lot of those. I can't really imitate that. I won't even try, because that'd be just disgusting. But a lot of rolled R's. So instead of York, there was a York. No, it's just stupid. Okay, I won't say anything. Let's just keep watching.
On to Pub Up Hill. Think of Sean Bean from Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones. One does not simply walk into Mordor.
Bean. You know the impression of Sean Bean from...
Newcastle.
You know the impression of Sean Bean from the Game of Thrones. Just open your mouth and have no clue what's going on. I remember that joke. So it's like that. Yeah.
Speaking a Geordie accent, so think of the Geordie Shore or Carol Cole. Remember, she got fired from the X Factor because nobody could understand a word she was saying. Or Billy Elliot. All I want to do is dance bally, but me dad makes me box. Edinburgh's the capital of Scotland. It's a very soft, maybe a little snooty kind of an accent. Think of Ewan McGregor or Dame Maggie Smith as Professor McGonagall. That's 10 points taken from Gryffindor, Mr. Potter. Glasgow is a much thicker kind of an accent.
Well, Edinburgh accent, many people would say that it's supposed to be very Scottish-like, with a lot of rolled R's and very weird vowels. But as far as I know, of all the Scottish cities, Edinburgh sounds the cleanest, the closest to the standard English. Well, let's see if she's gonna talk about Glasgow. As far as I know, Glasgow is much more like that, like people imagine, with all those weird sounds. And yeah, let's see.
Tonally and Peter Capaldi are both from there. They cut off a lot of the words, so I haven't any butter, so I've got to go to the shop, you know. And so up to the very north, to the Highlands of Scotland. Think of Amy Pond from Doctor Who, or maybe Sir Robert Burns.
Never
Best laid plans of mice and men, gang after gley. Now let's go to Northern Ireland, and it's all about the vowels with the Northern Irish accent, like, so like, how now, brown cow. Liam Neeson is from there. I've got a very particular set of skills.
You know, when I watched the Liam Neeson movies, I had no idea he was from Ireland. To me, he sounded very American-like, so I can't really tell if there's anything specific in his pronunciation.
I know he doesn't say it in that accent in the movie, but it sounds well close, so, like... And finally, Southern Ireland is obviously not a part of the...
Oh, you know what I was thinking? I was also thinking about that old movie, The Gangs of New York. Actually, that was my first reference back in the day, to get some kind of impression of the Irish accent, and only later, many years later, I figured out that that movie actually does not have many real Irish actors. So most of them are not from Ireland. That's why it was a very false misconception I was carrying in my mind for many, many years. That's why I don't really know how the Irish accent sounds.
The United Kingdom, but I can do a Dublin accent, so let's just do it. It's a pretty classic Irish accent with a lot of assonance to it. So Sinead O'Connor's from there. Nothing compares. Nothing
compares
who's
that.
To you. That is all from me. Tell me if there's any British accents that I missed, because I love a challenge. Don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching.
Okay guys, seems like that's it. I hope that the information I shared with you was of any interest to you. If it was, then please leave a comment in the comment section, or consider subscribing to the channel. There will be more videos coming, but for now that's it. Have a good day, and salute, comrades.